on your business math, chapter 2, section 5 now. And we're going to be talking now about inventory turnover. So when you have a business, you do not want to overstock with merchandise that customers don't want, or you'll have a whole bunch of extra things you cannot sell. And also, you don't want to run out of things that they want. When they're out of stock and you have all these people that want to buy them and you don't have them, then you're going to lose your business. So inventory turnover is very important. You know, it says here, the inventory turnover is a measure of how many times the value of the inventory is sold in 1 year. Just remember, very important, you know, our test question and everything, inventory turnover is always measured annually or in 1 year period of time. So if they're giving you inventory for just, say a quarter of a year, you'll have to times it by 4. It's always by 1 whole year. There are 2 methods to find the inventory turnover. Using the first method, you're going to divide the cost of the goods sold. That means what you're paying for your goods sold by the average inventory using the second by the average inventory. And then using the second method, you're going to divide the amount of sales, which is net sales, by the average inventory. So you're always dividing by the average inventory. So I wrote here so you can kind of see. So you have the cost of goods divided by the average inventory. So if you know the cost of goods, you can divide it to find the average inventory. And the amount of sales by the average inventory. So in this way, when you have those, you can find out. So the example here, and we have, let me see if you could see this better right here. This example, okay? And so the county store has an average inventory of $16,000. Its cost of goods sold is $38,000. Find the inventory turnover based on the cost of goods sold to the nearest tenth. So you have the 2 things you need. Basically, you're going to find that inventory turn by dividing the cost of goods sold by the average inventory. So, and then you'll get, when you divide this, you're going to get a whole number here. So, in fact, it's going to be 2.4. Now, you can actually, in doing this, you could actually do this this type basically using a calculator, but this one you could do pretty easily, just practically in your head. So, but a lot of times for this average inventory or the inventory turnover, you're going to have to use your calculator. So, or you could not, either way. So let's see that we're going to take one of these first, and I'll show you how to do them. So in case you have one of these, you know how to do. So these are not too hard because basically you have just a division program with a formula, right? So find the inventory turnover based upon the cost of goods sold to the nearest tenth. So number 1. So we have this. Let me put my mine here so you can see how I did this. Here we go. So we have the cost of goods sold is $210,000. The average inventory is $57,000. And so you're going to divide. See how I divided 21 by 57,000? Get rid of all those zeros, and you have 21 divided by 57, and that will equal 3.7. So the inventory turnover would be 3.7. So let's go on. We're going to do number 2 here. Move it over here so you can see it. So we have the cost of goods is $18,000. Average inventory is $3,500. So in doing this, basically, and number 2, I didn't do number 2, but anyway, just divide those 2 and you'll get 5.1. These are all pretty easy. This one here I did. Cost of goods sold is $450,000. The cost of goods sold. So, and divided by your average inventory, which would be 90,000. So you divide this out. I would just divide out all those zeros, and you're going to get, 450 over 90. We're going to have 45 over 9, which is going to be 5.0. So I always do it it says to the nearest tenth here. Inventory sold on annual sales. So this is a little, let's go on to the next, so actually on the next page here. So we have the inventory turnover based on the annual sales now. So you're going to have your annual sales, 75,000. Average inventory is 18,000. So how do you do that? Basically, it's just a simple division. You're going to take that annual sales, and you're going to divide it by the average inventory, and you're going to get 4.2. So those are easy. So let's go on to solve some problems in case you have a problem to do. Here we have, let's see, did I do number one? Your brother's shirt shop had a quarterly sales that averages $34,000. Their average inventory was $27,500. Find the inventory based upon the annual sales. So how do we do this? Look at how to do this. So brothers here, quarterly sales. That means quarterly is not annual sales. So we need to know the annual sales to do this. So the annual sales, so we have to times the 34,000 by 4. So we take 35,000 by 4, you get the annual sales. That's in a year. This is in a quarter, and this is in a year. So in a year, it's 136,000. And so then you're going to divide 106,000 divided by 27,500, which is the average inventory, and the inventory turnover is going to be 4.9. Remember, there's two different ways to do this. Remember that? So you can do, let's go back up here, the cost of goods divided by the average inventory, or you can do the amount of net sales in a year. This net sales always has to be in a year, and divide it by the average inventory. So those two ways. Now we're doing this method here to find it. So let's see, number 3. Let's do number 3 here. It's a longer one, but this will be the last one I'll do on this. And then, we'll go on to the next section. So Tree and Shrub Nursery has a store inventory that's 1/2 the recommended inventory turnover for the nursery business. Their average inventory is 7,300. Annual sales, so you have the average inventory, the annual sales. Find the inventory based upon annual sales. So let's do that first. So we have the annual sales here, 21,000, and the average inventory is 73,000. So that was pretty easy. You just divide those two out, and dividing them out here, you get 3. That's the easy one. You just divide them out. You're going to divide this number, the annual sales, by the average inventory. But we did that there. Okay. And now the B says, what is the recommended inventory turnover? And so the recommended inventory turnover. So annual sales. So in that way, you're going to divide. You're going to divide 3 by 4 over 3, because if 4/3 is always the recommended inventory. So this gets a little bit complicated because we're dividing fractions on the top number and fractions on the bottom number, right? So anyway, as we're dividing this, we're going to have to do a reciprocal, and that's what they want to learn. How to teach you how to do reciprocals, which you should already know. Reciprocal. It's going to be just the upside down of it, right? So this is going to be 3, and then you're going to, instead of divide that, you're going to times it by 3/4, which you'll get 9/4 there. And so so you have 9/4 here, and you're going to you'll see as you do this here. Let's see. It's going to end up to be 6. 3 times that. How did I do that? Here we go. So 3 over 1. This is what we're going to do. 3 over 1 or 4/3 equal x over 1. And so you have 3, and then 4/3 equal 9/2. Anyway, you're going to end up as 3. So doing the inventory. Or we're going to end up with 6. What total annual sales are necessary to meet the recommended inventory turnover for the average inventory? And you can do that too. What is the total annual sales that are necessary for the recommended inventory if the average inventory remains 7,300? I didn't do this one. So let's skip this one. This will be a little bit more in depth for you. So So Toys for All has an inventory of turnover. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go through these. You know, you can do each one of them to see how we basically have to do with the inventory and divide them out to find the average inventory. So. Okay, see if I do any other ones. Let's see. I'm going to do the ones I did. Finish number 3, so kind of got you a little bit confused there, I know. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one then. We need to do one of these, I guess. I have this one here. The average inventory wallpaper. Okay, let's do it. The average inventory of wallpaper is 21,700. Average sales for last year. There. Presently, the accounts receivable. And so what I have to write them all out first. That's what I did. So wallpaper. Outlet, the average inventory, and we have 21,700 annual sales, accounts receivable, right? So last year's inventory turnover, you're going to divide the annual sales by the inventory. So here's we go, 106,000 divided 210 divided by 21,700. So last year's inventory, if you use a calculator, is 4.9. So the next we want to present the average collection turnover. So now we're going to divide this, the present average collection turnover, 106 is annual sales, here 210, divided by, to find the present average collection turnover divided by 365. So our daily sales is going to be 291 in our daily sales. So we know it's $291. The accounts receivable, so the accounts receivable here, 8,425 divided by 291, so we have 29 days. You see how I did that? They wanted to find the daily. So to find the daily sale, you're going to divide the sale that you have by 365, because it's 365 days in a year. And so we divide that out, and you'll get $291 you're making every day. And then you'll take your accounts receivable there. Accounts receivable are 8,429 divided by 291. That's your daily sales. So it's going to be 29 days for you, or 29 days to find out, find the present average collection turnover for the nearest whole day. So you're going to find the nearest whole day. So that's what it's going to be 29 days. So number 6, the average inventory of Walmart is $1 million, $1,350,000. The average total. So we wrote these down. 1 million here, 350,000. And so now we have here the total the last 2 years. So we have 2 years. So we have to add these 2 years up, and then to average them. So we add this to this, and we get 26,700. And then we have to divide it by 2. And that means you'll get the average. The average for the daily sales in 1 year would be 13,350 annual sales right there. And so then you have that, and then you can divide that out. You can divide it out, and you will get 10.7. Is that what I got? 10.7. 10.7. Find the inventory to the nearest tenth for both years. So I took both years and divided each one of them out, and that's the answer you got. All right, so you see how to do this? It's basically using that equation and dividing them out, and just doing what they tell you to do. Buyer's Bookmart has an inventory turnover of 5.8. Their average inventory is 31,000. Find their annual sales. So basically to do that, we have the average inventory. We have to find the annual sales. We know the inventory, so you're going to plug it in. So you have X over 300, because now we want to find the annual sales, which is the top number, which we don't know. And so this is the equation here. It's kind of an algebra equation here. So you're going to time 5.8 by 31,000, and you'll get 181,250. That would be your final annual sales. Or your basically your annual sales, not final, it's your annual sales. So read my writing there. So anyway, so let's stop there. This got it's kind of easy, but we're going to get more into it a little bit on calculating how to do fractions and how to multiply numbers and using the PEMDA, which is you guys learned